Hello everyone, how are you? Are you fine? Today we will start with the third lesson in our unit, which is called the main groups in modern periodic table. In this lesson, we will talk about main groups in modern periodic table. We have three groups, which are number one, alkali metals in group 1A and halogen element in group 7A and inert gases in group 18. Next, we will start with the first group in modern periodic table, which is called alkali metal. First, they are located on the left side of periodic table, and they are found in S block. They are named with alkali metal. Why? Because their elements react with water, forming alkaline solution. For example, if we bring sodium in water, that produces sodium hydroxide, and hydrogen gas evolved with Bob sound. By this equation, 2Na plus 2H2O produce 2NaOH plus H2 evolved. So now, what are the properties of alkali metals? First, all of them are good conductor of heat and electricity. Second, most of them have low density. We have in this group elements and arranged lithium, then sodium, then potassium, then rubidium, then cesium. Lithium, sodium, and the potassium elements, they have low density. So, if we ask you, give reason, lithium, sodium, and potassium elements float on water surface. The answer, because their density are smaller than water density. While another give reason, rubidium and cesium elements sink in water. Why? Because their densities are greater than water density. Then, if we talk about, for example, lithium, Li. Lithium Li3, if we configure it to 1, it has 1 electron in the outermost energy level, and it tends to lose 1 electron in chemical reaction. So we can call it is a monovalent element. So give reason. Alkali metal, they are called monovalent elements. The answer, because they have 1 electron in the outermost energy level, and they tend to lose the valence electron during chemical reaction, forming positive ion, and change to positive ion that carries 1 positive charge. And they are active metal. So we have important question. Give reason we kept alkali metal under surface of kerosene or paraffin oil. Why? Because they are active elements, and their chemical activity increases as the atomic size increases. For example, if we have lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, when you go from up to down, what happens? The activity increases. For example, if we put sodium and potassium in water, first, if we put sodium in water, what happens? It produces sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas evolved with Bob sound. While if we put potassium in water, that produces potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas evolved with Bob sound. Which of them is stronger? Potassium. Why? Because potassium is more active than sodium. So we can say that the cesium is the most active metal. Why? As it has largest atomic size. Then, give reason. The reaction of potassium with water is stronger than sodium. The answer, because potassium is more active than sodium, as it has the largest atomic size. As the following equation. 2Na plus 2H2O reduce 2NaOH plus H2 evolved. And another equation, 2K plus 2H2O reduce 2KOH plus H2 evolved. Now we will talk about the reaction of alkyl metal with water. We said that if we put sodium and potassium in water, produces what? Alkaline solution. If we put sodium, produce NaOH. If we put potassium, it produces KOH. And both of them produce what? Produce hydrogen gas that evolved with pop sound. And we said that the reaction of potassium is stronger than sodium as this activity. Now we have important question. Give reason sodium fire are not put off with water. Why we can't put off sodium fire by water? What does it mean put off? Extinguish fire. How? Because sodium reacts with water and hydrogen gas evolved with burns with pop sound. Next. Now we will talk about the second group that we want to talk about it, which is called halogen group. Halogen group, first they are found in the right side of periodic table in group 7A in B block. And in this group we will talk about what? First, they are monovalent element. Why? Because their outermost energy level contains 7 electrons and tend to gain 1 electron and change it to negative ion that carries 1 negative charge. And they are in the form of diatomic molecule. What does it mean of diatomic molecule? It means it consists of 2 atoms. For example, fluorine F2, chlorine Cl2, bromine Br2, iodine I2. Next, we will talk about the states of these elements. Fluorine is a gas. Chlorine is a gas. Bromine is a liquid. Iodine is a solid. So we have important question. Give reason. Halogen don't exist in nature in elementary states. What I mean of elementary states means 1 atom. Why? Because they are active elements. Because they are what? Active elements. Next. They are active elements, so they don't exist in nature in elementary states. Except statin. Statin is prepared artificially. Then they react with metal forming salt, so they are called halogen. So what the meaning of halogen? Means formation salt or forming salt. So now we have important question. Give reason we called halogen group by this name. The answer, because they react with metal forming salts. And we will write the equation. Chlorine react with potassium bromide, produce potassium chloride and bromine gas, bromine liquid. Chlorine react with sodium bromine, that produce sodium chloride with bromine. Bromine react with potassium iodide, produce potassium bromide and iodine as these equations. Next. Now we will talk about the last thing in our lesson, which is called the properties of some elements and their uses. First, we will start with sodium, Na. Sodium is a metal and it's a good conductor of heat and electricity. How can we use that element in our daily life? We use it in liquid state in transferring heat from inside the nuclear reactor to outside it. And this heat used to obtain vapor energy. This vapor energy is required to generate electricity. So sodium is a metal. What else? Cobalt 60. Cobalt 60 is a radioactive element. What is the use of this? It's used in food preservation. Means, what's the meaning of food preservation? Make our food be healthy. How? By using cobalt 60. Why we use it? Because it produces or emits gamma rays. Because it emits gamma rays that prevent the reproduction of microbial cells, but don't harm the human. Next, silicon 14 is a metalloid. Silicon is used for what? Is used in manufacture of electronic devices. Why? Because they are semiconductor of electricity, and it has the ability to conduct electricity by lower temperature. Next, liquefied nitrogen. Liquefied nitrogen, we know that nitrogen is a nonmetal. We use it in what? We use it in preservation of cornea of eyes. Why? Due to the decreasing in its boiling point. Reach to what? Reach to negative 196 degrees Celsius. So that's all, and see you next time. Goodbye.